So, welcome everybody to the Mystical Development Meetup. I'm Ross Sesta. Most of you already know me. If you don't, just a little bit about me. This is kind of my daily practice that I'm sharing with you. I'm going to reduce some of it so it's a little bit more manageable. And one of the things that I want you to focus on, in addition to the card that we talk about, is maybe finding just one of these little portions that works better for you than others and trying to focus on bringing that into your own practice and making it your own, kind of like Bill and I had talked about before this started, kind of figuring out your own way. This is my thing that I do, and I'm very fluid with it. And I'm just trying to give you different tools that might help you. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. If it does, stick with it, play with it, all of that good stuff, right? So I actually have oracle cards today, not tarot cards, because I kind of wanted a break. We'll see what the general topic is. I'll riff on it a little bit. Um, then we'll do just two relaxation exercises or two sets of relaxation exercises prior to a meditation. I'm even going to make the meditation a little bit more concise this time, um, and try to let you have more of your own experience rather than me prompting as many questions. And we'll see how that works. And with all of that said, let's shuffle it one more time and see what the card is. Okay. This one is increase, and you can't really see because of the light. But this is about sharing, reaping rewards, overflow, expansion, flowering, encouragement, fertile ground, and abundance. Um, it's a weird card to get right now in like the middle of winter. It was 12 degrees when I woke up this morning. So it's kind of an interesting card to get. But at the same time, I remember reading a daily reading a year or two ago, and it talked about how in the dead of winter, even before you can actually see things begin to grow for spring, there's that movement underground, right? So for a lot of us, we might not necessarily have the signs of things increasing or shifting or changing in our lives, but realistically, that work or that foundation might be going on underneath the surface or in our subconscious or in some aspect where we can't see it. Um, the other thing is, one of the words that it talks about is fertile ground, right? Having a daily practice, like doing this stuff or whatever your daily practice might be, actually helps kind of create a fertile and stable ground for other things that you want. The first hour of your day sets the tone for the whole day that you have. And I think that being mindful of how you utilize that time and kind of what ground you're creating for yourself really dictates what you grow. Um, I'll say one last thing and then we'll kind of get into the exercises. And that's the other thing. This is one of the important things about increase. Oftentimes, people might want more things added to their life or want other things. But if we're not capable of handling or managing the things that we currently have, it's challenging to ask for more. So sometimes what we need to do is increase our awareness and making sure that we're creating the space or the environment for new things to come up. And oftentimes that's a process of letting things go. Um, Sometimes we have to clear up space for new things to come in, right? And you can all figure out how that makes sense. Do you think about how that relates to your current situation or things that you would like to see increased? And we're going to switch the camera view with that being said. All right. So I'm going to move this out of the way. We're actually going to start on the floor with some stretches. We're not going to do the progressive muscle tension thing this time, just because switching it up a little bit, right? So I'm going to wait for everybody to get in cat cow or tabletop pose, as this one is called. And just watch me on this first one if you're not familiar with it. And if you are, you can follow along. So first off, we're going to breathe in and drop our stomach down, lift our head up. And breathe out, round your back, arch up. Breathe in. And one more, breathe in, drop your belly, lift your head up. Breathe out, arch your back. And then come into a seated position. You're going to take whatever foot feels comfortable to you and whatever hand feels comfortable to you and rotate it whatever direction feels appropriate. Also, kind of clench and unclench your hand and foot, like whatever feels good here. Sometimes we store a lot of tension in weird areas, and this is a good way to kind of release some of it. The only reason that I really add this in is because I store a lot of stress in the bottom of my feet and in my hands. And this is one of the interesting things, and you can switch sides whenever you're ready. Um, One of the interesting things about having a daily practice is you start to notice these areas that don't relax as easily, and then you're able to pay more attention to them. And this is a little bit more esoteric or metaphysical, but some of these different spots also correspond to different types of energies or different types of situations. And when you look at those, you might even be able to begin to address some areas that need some healing or some work. So, with those two little positions out of the way, we're going to move into a neck relaxation exercise. And this is another area for me where I store a lot of stress. I'm sure a lot of other people do as well. With all our time on computers, oftentimes we're hunched over, and that can create all sorts of different problems. Um, so, this is a good one. And we'll start with our head down. You can watch me on this first one if you'd like, and then follow along in the next one or jump right in. Start with your head down and then breathe in, lift your head up, breathe out, head down, breathe in, and out, and in, and out. Now we're going to go side to side, and this is just kind of like a sprinkler motion. As you breathe in, move your head one direction, and as you breathe out, move it the other direction. We'll go back into this one more time. And as we're sitting here, kind of relaxing, before we move on to the next movement, think about what is increasing in your life. Is it the things that you want or the things that you kind of don't want or are uncomfortable? And is there something that you need to do differently or approach the situation differently? Think of that concept as we're going through this. And now we're going to do neck circles, and be gentle with yourself here. Don't push yourself any further than you can handle or what feels comfortable. Don't force, don't rush. And just find a nice, even breathing pattern. Feels good. And then we'll go back the other way. All right. This next one is always awkward to do because I have to do it with my eyes open. So I feel like I'm showing you, even though I'm staring right at a light when I do it. This is like an eye stretch. We carry a lot of stress in our eyes. We use our eyes in ways that they really weren't designed to be used by staring at all these bright digital screens. But it's the way of the world now, right? So doing little things that can kind of give that area attention and kindness is helpful. So we're going to start by breathing in and looking up, and then breathing out and slowly looking down. Breathe in and look up. Breathe out, look down. And then one more. Breathe in, look up. Breathe out, look down. And I highly encourage you to do this with your eyes shut so you don't have to feel like a weirdo like I do. Um, Plus, it's probably better for your eyes. Next, we're going to go from side to side. Start with your eyes on whatever side feels comfortable, and then you're going to breathe in and then move them to the other one. Breathe out, go back the other direction. Breathe in and out. And one more, in and out. We have two more sequences of eye relaxation exercises. The first one is an eye circle in whatever direction feels comfortable. And just find a good breathing with this, whatever feels good to you. And some of these may feel awkward. And to me, if they feel awkward, it means that you probably need to do it, right? Now we're going to go back the other direction. And you want to do this as gently as possible. Your eyes might be somewhat jerky or move very quickly because you're just getting new to this, and that's okay as well, right? So before we move on, rub your palms together like I'm doing, and wait till you feel some warmth there, and then gently turn your palms like this and put them over your eyes for a period, just to kind of let that warmth go in there. Okay. This is probably one of my favorite parts of this whole stretching thing. Put one of your legs out in front of you and just kind of gently lean into it. Go as far as you can without hurting yourself, without forcing, without pushing, and just kind of gradually rest into this position. And returning back to increase, and one of the words, fertile ground. Think of your daily life, of your daily habits, and double check that that actually has the support for what you want out of life, and that the environment that you're in can support what you're hoping for. In some schools of thought in regards to this type of stuff, they teach you not to hope or not to have desire. Um, in my understanding, it's okay to have desire, but not to be so attached to it that you are disrupted by it. And you can find what works best for you, but that's just my understanding. So now you're going to put out your other leg and you're going to lift the arm or the leg that you were just stretching up, hold it in your arm like this, like it's a baby or a little dog, and just rock back and forth with it. It's funny from doing this little exercise on a regular basis. I normally used to hold a lot of tension here. Now you're going to roll like this. I'm sorry. I used to hold a lot of tension here, but there's like none anymore. Occasionally there's some, but most days it's pretty good. And because of having awareness of my body and doing this regularly, I can kind of sense when I'm starting to get more and more stressed because my muscles are more tense, or I can tell if I'm not drinking enough water, which is probably more often the case than I'd like. But when you have this process of checking in with yourself regularly, it creates the fertile ground for you to have a healthier connection to you. To switch to the other leg now, same thing, gently kind of lean into it. Do what feels good, go as far as you want. One of the things that I'd like to bring in about increase too is oftentimes we might associate increase with good, like more is better is kind of like the American attitude towards everything in many regards. It's not necessarily always the case. Sometimes what we don't need more of, we don't need more of anything external. Sometimes we need more appreciation or more patience or more rest. Um, or sometimes everything's actually okay and our desire for more is what's creating the problem. Sit here for just a little bit longer. And then extend your other leg out so you have support. Lift this one up in the crook of your arm and just slowly rock it. And then come down on your side. And again, slowly work this out. And then when you're ready, come back up. Put your feet out in front of you like this for butterfly pose. Just find a nice little natural rhythm here. Kind of get in your zone. And the next move that I'm about to show you, this is one of the ones that I'm going to save this for the meditation part, actually. Hold on. So now we're going to stand up. I have to take this off. It's getting a little bit warm. The move that I'm going to show you later is one that is really, really helpful, and it's not one that I've shown yet. Hopefully you already know it, but it will really help you. We'll get to that one in a bit, though. We're going to just do the quick Tai Chi cycle. Put one of your feet out in front, one out in back, hands flat like this. This is called calming the waters at the heart. If you know it, you can join in with me. If you're not, just watch this first one, and then we'll go from there. So you're going to breathe out, rock forward. Breathe in, toes up. And whenever we get to the end of a set, you're going to close it out like this. And I was taught that just helps ground your energy after doing it, because Tai Chi is energy work. We're just going to do the same movement on the other side now. And close it out. Now, put your turn into this stance, hips or feet about hip width distance apart, right? Or one of your hands on the bottom, one hand on top, and then slowly move to the other side. I got to get out of the habit of saying directions. It's kind of confusing for me. And then just pivot when you get there. And for these, just find a nice, even breathing pattern, whatever feels comfortable and natural. Be mindful, but just don't be overly concerned, I guess is what I'm trying to say. For whatever reason, something that I've either read or somebody that I've worked with before told me this concept that in some traditions it's believed that kind of God exists in the spaces in between your breath. And by that, I don't mean a specific deity, but the concept of like divine intelligence or some kind of cosmic thing that pushes life forward. I always thought that was beautiful. For whatever reason, it came up. You're going to make a ball of energy now. And the more that you do this, kind of the more you'll be able to feel it. And we're going to start by breathing out, rocking forward, breathing in, lifting your toes up, and then close it out. And same thing on the other side. Close it out. We're going to still be working with the ball of energy. So again, kind of have it up here like this. And for this one, you're going to breathe out, rock forward, and then breathe in. I kind of lost myself on that one. There we go. Let's do it this way. Here we go. Sorry about that. Breathe in. I'll do one more. That's a bad thing about getting up at 4 in the morning is by this time of day, my mind can sometimes be not with us. So we're going to lift up, breathe in. Close it out. Now we're going to do the other one. Start up here. Breathe out. Oh, wait, that's the one we just did. Wow. Breathe in. Like I said, my mind is not working. Here we go. Breathe in, lift it up. Close it out. Whatever reason, something on my computer just changed. Let me see if y'all are still there. That was weird. Okay. So close that one out. We're going to do the ball in this stance now. One hand on the bottom, one hand on top, and just slowly move to the other side. When you get there, roll your hands and go back. And one more time. And then close it out. Face the front of your mat again. Put both hands in front of you like this, and you're going to push forward and breathe out. Pull back, breathe in, toes up. And if you haven't noticed by now, most in-breaths, you're kind of pulling things back to you. Most out-breaths, you're pushing things away from you or releasing energy. Close it out. And it might not come natural to you to synchronize everything. Don't worry about it. To be truthful, I still don't synchronize everything now. And I've been practicing this for a couple of years at this point. I think one of the main concepts about a lot of this stuff that we don't necessarily understand in the West is it's not so much about doing these things perfectly or getting it right. It's literally just about trying consistently, even though it is uncomfortable and awkward. For the next one, you're going to have get in this position is the best way I can put it. One side of your body's kind of forward, the other is pull it back. And you're going to breathe in and lift your toes up. And then breathe out, lean forward. Do it on the other side now. One of the things that's interesting is Tai Chi is actually a martial art. The healing modality that's kind of branched off from it or similar to it is called Qigong. And I'm not entirely certain, but this probably is more Qigong than Tai Chi technically. It's just that it's easier to tell people Tai Chi because it's more popular. But I would look into Qigong if you like these types of moves. For the next one, one hand on flat like this, other one in front of your face. And the hand that's in front of your face, you want it to be the direction that you're about to slowly move. This one is called cloud hands. And you're just kind of supposed to imagine gradually moving your hand through water or a cloud. This is a very good and relaxing one. And we'll do one more pass. And then we'll close it out. All right, so the next thing that I'm going to show you, I would say try to do your best to be able to do it. There's two different ways that I can show you to do it. You might not have any of these tools, and it might just be something that you try at a later time and you do your best that you can with it. So this is called legs on the wall. I'll show you the literal legs on the wall in a second, but I'll also show you a variation that involves this block. And the cool thing about this one is if you're able to put your legs on the wall or you're able to get into this situation, this will literally put your mind and body into a meditative, regenerative, and healing state. Like it's just what it does. Um, so if you're having a really stressful day, or if you're really burnt out or low energy, this is a really good one to do. And what you would want to do is actually, we'll do it this way. So you'd get down and then kind of put this underneath your tailbone. So your feet are positioned up in the air. And you can get a block like this at the store for $1 or two. Um, and the other way is literally putting your legs on the wall, which I would show you, but I think you get the idea this way. And if you don't have a block and you don't have a wall available, um, even just trying to put your legs up against your chair or anything like that would be helpful. And what this does is it gets the blood that is pulled up in your feet most of the day and it gets it to drain down and circulate. And because this is an abnormal position and your feet are above your heart, this actually kind of tells the body to rest, relax, recharge, repair, and rebuild. And when you stay in this for 3 to 4 to 5 minutes, it will really calm you down quickly. And it's kind of impressive how potent this is and how simple it is, and then how much benefit you get from it. And normally when I do this, I do it for 5 minutes. So we're going to try to get like a 5 minute one in there. But you'll notice when we're done how much easier it is to enter into the meditation. And kind of while we're sitting here and relaxing, if you'd like, entertain again the idea of what is increasing in your life right now. Is it the things you want, or is it the things that you don't want? And what is helping or what is hindering that growth? We'll hold this for just a little bit longer. And when you're ready, bring your feet down. That's a really good one to play with, though, especially if you have a very stressful week or if you're having sleeping problems or all sorts of other things. Okay. So now we're going to do the regular meditation. And for this one, I want to do it somewhat different, right? Bill and I were talking before this started about the benefit of changing things up from time to time. So for this, I'm going to set a timer for 5 minutes, and we'll kind of just let you sit there and do what's comfortable, or guide yourself. And that might be really, really uncomfortable for you. And that's why we're kind of doing it. Everybody will be fine. We're all here. But what I would ask you is to take yourself on a gentle journey through how increase relates to you or somebody else. Um, and allow yourself your own experience, like, and then report back kind of what comes up for you unguided and on your own in the silence. Okay, and my timer did not go off, so we hit our 5 minutes. And I'm going to switch camera views. Hopefully that was good for everybody. And before I stop recording, I just want to say anybody who's watching this recording later on, we do have a discussion portion. If you ever want to attend our live events, there's information in the description down below where you can check that out. And we'd love to have you here, and we'd love to have you engage in our discussion. So with that said, talk to you guys soon, and we will now start the discussion and stop recording. Oops, I almost hit the wrong